I think really just acknowledging the courage that it takes to show up for ourselves, to invite another person to be part of our journey. I feel really honored with every person who decides to share a piece of their story with me. I hold that as really sacred. And I know the courage that it takes to show up for ourselves and to take those steps to share a part of our lives with others. I'm drawn to helping folks is that I've struggled too. So my desire to help people, even with personal training, right, wasn't because I was doing everything right or getting everything down perfectly. It was that I did want to help folks. So from the very beginning into now, my interest in counseling, my entire career has been really helping folks and for folks just to know that I've had those struggles as well. I still enjoy working with folks on health and wellness and body image specifically, rewriting some of those stories we tell ourselves and helping recreate a new beginning. So, really, that piece of self concept and self esteem and helping folks with that. Also, anxiety, because I've struggled with that myself. That is something I enjoy helping people with because I've seen how it can help them function better in their day to day life. I think it's important to be able to connect with the body. So, really, that mindfulness in session, if folks are able to sit with emotions that we tend to really pass over, I think that's a really valuable experience that I like to use in session that clients can also take outside of session to really slow down and allow themselves to have their feelings. You're walking away with some skills and some actual tasks to work on as well. So, I try to combine the work that we do in session to go deep and have those deeper experiences, but also that they're walking away feeling like they have some skills to practice and making progress between sessions. We've all experienced some type of trauma in our life. So, in that way, I think being able to validate people's experience is very powerful. I have also been a victim of trauma, and I've also overcome trauma through surviving Hurricane Katrina. Disaster trauma has been a big part of my life, working through and overcoming that, as well as personal trauma. With trauma, it's really important to bring mindfulness. That's really an important time to be able to practice connecting with the body in a safe space, which we're co creating together. For me, I found a lot of healing through somatic work, recognizing how I was disconnecting from myself and not being fully present in my body because I didn't feel safe. And really learning to feel safe again in my body was a huge part of the work that I've done. Hurricane Katrina happened when I was quite young, so 21 or so, and I didn't have skills. So that was a really challenging thing that I navigated pretty much by myself. I didn't ask for mental health support. It wasn't something that was talked about or that had really been done. Everyone was just really getting through it. And it's easy to minimize what you're going through when you see what everyone else is going through. Your pain is valid. It's worth taking time for, it's worth asking help for. Minimizing it doesn't make it go away. A lot of people are afraid to give up that critic because they think that critic's keeping them on track, but it's not. If you think about it this way, if you showed up to work out with me and every time you showed up, I yelled at you, you wouldn't come back. It's the same thing. We need to create that relationship that we want to show up for. I think it's really important to have compassion for ourselves, right? To recognize that we're not doing these things because we don't want to be healthy or because we want to lash out at people or we want to overeat, right? This is the best that we can do at the time. So having that compassion for ourselves, I think is key. I've used those tools too. I still struggle with binge eating at times. We choose these tools because they help us in the moment. And then when we identify that we want to do things differently, that's when we can really start to look deeper at what is this tool serving? How is this tool serving me? And then we can start to look at healing that piece and getting the need met. We can start to introduce some different tools that help us move closer to who we're trying to be.